It's so hard to believe that when the initial idea of Equestria Girls was approached, everybody hated it. Nobody wanted to see this happen. Nobody wanted to see Hasbro take the Pony franchise and turn it into the rival for Monster High. And needless to say, the first movie didn't go so well. The second movie, Rainbow Rocks, turned out to be a huge success, and people saying, oh my god, this is so good, I can't wait to see more of it. So now we come to movie number 3, where the hype has died down a little bit. We can safely talk about this without everybody gushing over how either good or how bad it was. So, here we have today a little roundtable discussion of the friendship games, MLP Equestria Girls 3. Greetings, every peoples. This is your cult of personality, ToonKriticY2K's name. Tunes are the name of my game. Man, this is going to be fun. Man, y'all probably remember the balanced perspective ages ago. Y'all remember the roundtable that me and Voice did with past analysis on Rainbow Rocks, and what a coincidence. Hey, Voice, I brought you back for a third time in a row.
I am?
Yeah.
Where am I? Who are you? What am I doing here?
What is your favorite color?
Blue. No, wait!
That is the wrong answer!
Do you guys normally do these like this?
Yeah, we normally do.
I wouldn't know. This is my first time here.
Yes. You may notice that past analysis is not on this. Well, let's just say he had a fangasm over so much Sunset Shimmerness that he was unable to make it to this. Let's just put it at that. So instead, I have brought in Lightning Bliss.
I like rainbows.
Really? I wouldn't have noticed. And Sketchy the Changeling.
What's up, y'all?
So, friendship games. I think when we all saw this, we were getting a lot of Hunger Games vibes to it, and I'm sure as much as we'd love to see these colorful equine ponies destroy each other in an epic Hunger Games style event, this is Friendship is Magic. We can't do that, sadly.
Well, the movie almost tried.
Maybe it's for the best.
Yeah, it almost happened with a lot of things that happened in it. So, should we...
I was just thinking more, this was more on the lines of what Equestria Games should have been.
Yeah, it would have made a lot more sense, too. So, let's get this little shindig started with Voice. We're going to be going by what we did. Wow, okay, fuck that up, god damn it. Power of editing. Ugh. Okay. So, we're going to start off with what we liked and what we didn't like and any other additional thoughts we want to throw out afterwards. So, starting off with Voice... What did you like about friendship games?
A couple of things I did like about this movie. For one, I think this is actually... for one, again, maybe this is just coincidence or like a conspiracy, but Josh Haber manages to fix episodes that I had problems with without knowing it. But a lot of the problems that I had with Equestria Girls were sort of fixed in this episode. This movie. I don't know. I keep on forgetting it's movie, not episode. One of the big things I remember, the confrontation between Twilight and Crystal Prep, Twilight, and Sunset, I think was a lot more believable than the one in the first Equestria Girls movie. For one, again, jumping ahead to one of the big scenes in the middle, right after Excitebike happened. How? Okay. Anyway, there was a conversation about how you don't know, you have no idea what you're dealing with. The magic in Equestria. I like the parallel here a lot better. In terms of like someone who's experienced the magic in this world compared to Twilight, who has no idea what the hell she's doing. Another thing I really enjoyed was the reveal of Twilight at the end was a lot better than what they did with Sunset Shimmer. Like I mentioned in my review, again our review 2 years ago. Can't believe it's been 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Where I said like there was absolutely no build up to Sunset Shimmer's reveal as a monster It's like there was only I remember what I say. Here we're only given two. We're only given two things. One's that Luna said it's dangerous to bring a magical realm into another realm, and that such a simple said she's not a monster 2 minutes before she transforms into a monster.
Yeah, here at least they actually start building up, and you have a feel that's what they may do, and it works better this way.
Yeah,
There's a sense of kind of expecting it to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, Twilight's monster design 100 times better than Sunset's.
Yeah.
It is gorgeous. It is gorgeous.
It doesn't even feel just evil. It feels more possessive in an elegant way. Just angry alicorn girl.
So actually, while we're on that, animation in this movie is phenomenal.
Yeah, the animation back in the first Equestria Girls movie wasn't very good to say the least, and I really loved how they were able to step up for Rainbow Rocks with a lot of the dramatic scenes and the little bit of the finale. Here, it just feels like a generally refined product. The animation looks a lot smoother. They have an idea for what they'd want to do with the poses and how the humans work and the facial expressions and all of that.
Yeah, then there's actually a lot of subtle things you may not notice. Like, I was listening to the commentary to the movie right before this, both for this and the deleted scenes. And one of the things they were talking about, at least for the art, is that they actually toned down Sunset's hair color. That like the red and yellow in her hair is not as is actually more toned down. She's actually softened up a bit. If you catch the drift there.
Yeah.
And also during the final scene, there was an idea about the Sunset getting the wings and the horn as well. It's proved that she's not like an official alicorn, otherwise she would have gotten to have gotten the wings as well. So it's actually like a beam. It's a beam of light. Just again, sort of like Twilight's horn on the Candlelight. Sorry, not Candlelight High. Crystal Prep's Twilight. It's a lot more, a lot of like subtle touches to the animation that they didn't really notice. Like, remember when just before they first discovered the Excitebite thing, you see Pinkie Pie's eyes just kind of slowly dip away. I didn't notice that on my first watch.
There's a lot of things you'll notice like on the second watch, I think.
Yeah. But animation's greatly improved. A lot of the problems that were fixed from the first movie were improved. And also again, Sunset proves she's like the star of the series.
Yeah, she's actually on the frickin' DVD cover this time.
Wow.
Finally.
Yeah, that's sort of stuff that's pretty much a lot of stuff I liked, but should I go into the stuff I disliked, or should I save that for later?
How about we circle around back to it when we get the chance?
Okay.
Yeah. Bliss, what did you like about Friendship Games?
Oh my goodness. Well, I know what I do like. I liked how Sunset Shimmer first approaches Twilight when she realizes what's going on, what's going down, and a lot of people were saying that she reacted way too harshly. Twilight didn't know any better. Crystal School at Twilight.
Crystal Prep.
Yeah, Crystal Prep. Everybody was saying that, Sunset was being too harsh on her. And I go, okay, first off, I've had an experience like this where I saw one of my friends got hurt at the expense of a joke by some other kids. And I got up in their faces and told them what I felt, told them they didn't know any better, and that as a result, some of my friends got hurt. And Sunset did that no differently. It wasn't until after Twilight runs off, Rainbow Dash just no words were exchanged. This is what I loved about this scene the most. No words were exchanged. Rainbow Dash just puts a hand on Sunset's shoulder, gives her a look like, oh man, you shouldn't have been that hard. And Sunset takes that look, realizes it and is like, oh no, I really was too hard. And I'm like, thank you. She realized she made a mistake. The heat of the moment and the fact that she was just concerned about her friends. And I thought that scene was described perfectly through just pure expressions of the animation. The animation of this movie was spot on. And I loved how, like, all the main five with Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie, Rarity, Fluttershy, and Applejack, they were all done very well in my opinion. Maybe not as much as in the spotlight as they were last time. It didn't really hurt them at all, and not to mention the music. Once again, the music lured me in. The Wonderbolt Prepper Alley with Rainbow Dash and the cheerleaders. That was awesome. I loved that little single. And then,
Huzzah! Rainbow Dash gets a song that isn't egocentric and about
no,
herself.
it's not. It's about raising the spirits of her classmates and telling them, we're going to do it this year. We're going to win. We're going to do it together. And I'm like, yeah, I can feel it.
We're all in this together.
No, you will not bring up that movie in my presence.
Let's get together. Yeah. I can sing that song. But if not that song, then how about the song that Twilight sings, Something Better for Me? I think that was...
What more is out there? Oh, God. If anybody saw the Bronies Distract thing on Southspec's channel where we all just made jokes of like, oh, how many Disney princess jokes have we made so far for this?
I don't care.
Because it really is a Disney princess song if you like look at it from a certain way.
I did not look at it from that way, and now that you told me, I'm realizing, that actually makes sense. But I don't care. It still was sung very well. I loved the melody. I loved the anxiety she's experiencing and the fact that, you know, she's in the top class. She might as well not be there. She might as well be at some really super special university. Nobody likes her at the school, and yeah, the song brought tears. And I find that ironic that a song from a movie that was inspired by My Little Pony cartoon brings me to tears more than Disney princess songs. So yeah, I absolutely loved this movie. I would still prefer Rainbow Rock's sequel to because that one had a little more amp. Maybe because it was the music itself, but this one wasn't bad. I heartily enjoyed it. I loved the characters. Loved the music, and the animation was flawless in my opinion. And I'll keep my negatives for later.
Yeah, for a lot of people, it's better than the first Equestria Girls movie, but not better than the second movie. It finds itself kind of stuck in the middle there.
It's like Jaws 3D.
It's like it could be better, but it also could be worse. So, yeah. I kind of thought that's how the movie would go too. I've seen that with a lot of trilogies where the third movie kind of just ends up wedged there in the middle. Just like, yeah, it was better than the first, but the second one was really really much better.
What was that?
I think your kid agrees.
Sorry, that's
in the
my nephew.
background.
My nephew's making a cameo. Hello.
All right, so Sketchy, what do you like about friendship games?
Excuse me, I'm just reeling from the shock of hearing that child. But anyway,
Yeah, just like the fuck's the child doing here?
Anyway.
The child's coming for you.
I definitely did like this movie. Now you guys know that it took me forever to watch it. Like after missing the initial airing on TV, I didn't watch it until the DVD came out, which is like almost a month later. And now that I've finally seen it, I'm so glad that I saw it. And I think one of my favorite things about it is definitely the writing, because when I think of the first two Equestria Girls films, I feel as though some of their plots felt a little bit gimmicky, like the root of the plot, because like the first film is the stereotypical nerdy girl beats a popular girl in a popularity contest plot. Then next we have the Battle of the Bands. But with this, yeah, it is the standard athletics competition trope, but in this time it felt like more of a backdrop to something bigger and more complex that was going on. And I gotta applaud the writers for doing that. I feel as though the Equestria Girls universe has come into its own as a franchise and a series. And while Rainbow Rocks was the film that made me warm up to the brand, this is the film that made me look forward to what the brand has to offer from here on out.
When I look at how far the series has come, it's gotten to the point where they've ironed out like some of the creases and stuff. They've figured out what they can do right and what they can't do right. They really did that with Rainbow Rocks, and now with Friendship Games, they found what they really wanted to do with
Yeah, they definitely perfected. Not no, I don't want to say perfected. They near perfected this universe as far as aesthetics goes, because going back to what you said earlier about the first film, visually it wasn't as polished. And I think that's mostly because they were getting used to the whole human puppets thing, because it was a realm that they hadn't ventured to before, both story-wise and in real life. And it's kind of like when you see like a 2D video game franchise make that transition to 3D, and that first 3D game isn't very good, but the games that come afterward are become a lot better. And I feel as though that same effect happens here with the Equestria Girls series. And now that we have gotten to the third film, you can definitely see that they have upped their production value, even when you look at simple things like the opening sequence. Like you compare it to the first Equestria Girls movie, and it's just flat, minimalist drawings with some 3D effects thrown in. And then you get to the opening sequence for Rainbow Rocks, where it's a lot more flashier. And then here with Friendship Games, not only is the opening sequence gorgeous, but it's also integrated with what's going on in the film. And there's a nice transition between the opening sequence and the film footage. And just little details like that, it shows how much effort was put into this film on a visual standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they remember hearing the commentary. Initially, the cards for all the text, like introducing characters, was actually supposed to be all crystal, like all crystallized. They initially so they had changed it to it was like less crystally, and it actually looked more like trading card stock.
Yeah, I'm thinking like if it looked crystally, it would probably look a little too like flashy, because like you don't want to go too far, especially when it's supposed to be text that's supposed to be read and readable. So I'm glad that they didn't go that route.
Yeah, that was like a last second. There was like a last minute change.
What I loved about this movie, I say loved a little bit more than liked. The one thing I loved about this movie is that it felt a lot more intense. It really felt like there was a lot more at stake in this movie. Because while Rainbow Rocks definitely brought up like how serious things were, especially with the sirens and how well they played their plan, right down to the ending with the song and whatnot, that really helped encapsulate how serious like the ending was. I think that through here there was a little bit of a underlying tension between not just how well the story could go, but also with whether or not people would like. I think it's what I'm trying to say here is like it's hard for. It was hard at first for the movie to like carry onwards with the tone of the movie. I loved how they were able to do it though in a subtle way. They really started amping things up once they got to like the actual main course of it, and right down to the not so epic but still kind of epic battle between what is it now, Midnight Sparkle and what are the names for them? Did they come up with names
I
for
heard-
this?
I know
don't think
Midnight-
they-
Well, I don't remember.
Midnight Sparkle's one of them. I don't know what Sunset's was.
Super Saiyan Sunset.
Super Saiyan Sunset. SSS.
SS. Yeah.
Hashtag Super Saiyan Sunset. Make it last on Twitter, y'all. Make it last.
No.
Yeah, they did have a little bit of a DBZ fight, but not as epic as people were expecting it to be. The little flash that we had with Luna and Celestia, I think in Princess Twilight Sparkle, was a little bit more epic than this, but whatever. The point is, what I was trying to say is that I love that they took this film a little bit more seriously when it came down to the drama parts of it. They weren't afraid to, I think, dive in a little deeper, because they were carrying off of how feelsy and dramatic season 5 has been so far. So when they carried that over, I thought they did a really good job with that. The other thing I really liked is how this is more... it's a little hard for me to call this a remake in a sense, because when I say remake, they're using the plot of the first movie in a sense, but flipping the roles around. And some people call that retreading and some call that just lazy writing. I think that's a good callback, especially since Sunset's like the main character in this, and it's about her story arc coming to full circle with how she's helping Twilight, or at least Crystal Prep Twilight, find what she's supposed to do and find, what real friendship magic can do. So
I think that's what you would call it, a full circle.
it's what it's
Yeah.
supposed to be, but so many people called that, oh, you're all just making this all about Sunset. What did the others do? Da, 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 da. I think this was
I
necessary.
like that it was about Sunset because
liked
that was
that.
my
Yeah.
main problem with Rainbow Rocks. Like, the one criticism I had against Rainbow Rocks was that it felt like Twilight stole the show from Sunset, and that she didn't get the time that she needed, and this film remedied that.
No, well, here's the good thing. Twilight did steal the spotlight from the other main 5, because they're just kind of there for this one.
I kind of felt they were always kind of there throughout the entire series. It was like, I'm only supposed to care about Sunset Shimmer, and I'm honestly okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a problem that a lot of other people had, though. But yeah, this full circle arc, now that like the movies have gone by and we can examine piece by piece what happened throughout this whole story arc, it feels really great that they got to this point. It feels really cool that we get to see Sunset develop from a villain to a reformed character to a straight up, Sailor Scout now with the friggin'
Stop.
magic transformation. Like, you guys wanted Madoka Magica and your ponies. Well, here it is. Magical girl ponies. Whoop-de-freaking-do. Buy them at your local Target.
Until we see some of the main 6 dying, then we get Madoka Magica. Because if you watch Madoka Magica, it gets heavy.
Well,
Yeah.
well, from what I remember, watching again the tapestry, Star Trek Next Generation tapestry moment, like take my hand, Twilight. When it passes by her, she's like transforming back to being normal. You can see it's like, yeah, that's kind of anime-ish.
Ish.
Where it almost looks like I could see, it's like, yeah, I could see Usagi from Sailor Moon in that position too.
And of course, one last thing, the music. Love the music here. Not as great as Rainbow Rocks, but still, they did some really good stuff with this. Not all of the songs, ING, were winners, but I still love them. I love the CHS Rally song. I love the fact Rainbow finally gets a song where she's not egotistical and all about herself. Suck it, Rainbow Dash haters. I love Unleash the Magic. That one is a really good villain song, I think. I liked, what is it, Akadeka? Akadeka. That was really cool, too. What More's Out There, despite it being an obvious princess song, it's still really good. So it has a strong soundtrack to it. But yeah, that's all that I liked for this. So now we move to what we didn't like. So, Voice, I'm sure you have a lot to say.
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead.
Is it weird to say that I actually kind of was towards the music? Again, I'm one of the I'm strongly against the music in the first Equestria Girls movie. I thought everything was generic.
Oh, yeah.
I love every single song in Rainbow Rocks. Even some of the annoying ones like Tricks on My Sleeve or Awesome as I Want to Be still are very catchy, and still catchy, and I'll hum along to it. I can't for the life of me remember a single lyric from any of the songs outside of na 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 let's go Wonder Colts. Even like again with the technically second villain song, with Unleash the Magic, I remember more from Under Our Spell, Battle of the Bands, and the first portion of the music battle at the end of Rainbow Rocks than I did with this one.
Yeah, the villains here aren't really that epic. When you look at like Principal Cinch, she is
that
not
her
as
name?
epic as
Cinch?
the...
See,
yes.
I didn't even remember her name because she was just that forgettable.
Well,
She was the most meh villain.
well,
She's like a business villain, you know. She's just looking out for number one and not so much for her students. And she, bleh.
oh yeah.
I think, you know, I was reading of something interesting. A lot of people thought that she was Chrysalis. And I think, just personally, I think that would have been so cool had they made that Chrysalis. And she just bursts out, and just like you have that version of Chrysalis, and all the Crystal Prep students are changelings. I'm like, okay, that would have made this movie so much better.
That would be disrespectful to Best Queen, though. And I'm not just saying that because my OC's a changeling.
But she's the only queen. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Actually, while we're on the villains, wow, were they so underdeveloped? Like,
They were placeholders.
well, yeah, I mean, I can only remember like two names on the villain side. Which I know Principal Cinch,
Sour Spot?
Principal Cinch
Anyone?
and Sugarcoat.
Mm.
Again, Sugarcoat was the best one out of them because like she told him like it was.
Yeah.
And with Cinch, how the hell is she a principal? Like blackmailing your own students. Like, how has she not been fired?
Have you not seen the American public school system?
Yes. Well, apparently I was in a good school. Apparently.
Yeah, so was I. I got lucky.
I did not get so lucky, but
That
not even my school got to that.
But that again, the blackmailing thing, that's something that like a student would do to another student, not like a higher up to one of its subordinates. I mean, a higher up to one of its to one of its students. That just it doesn't sit right with me.
Nah.
Oh,
You know what was funny? You know what was funny though? How they were hyping up everything like in the opening credits, like you have like all these rivals for the main five and Sunset to fight with. Yeah, count how many scenes they have together where they go with witty banter or they're actually going against each other.
One.
Yeah, all that like, oh, you're my rival, grr. Yeah, you're kind of not. You're kind of just there.
Ugh. And I just and there was one line that I missed, and I watched it during the Bronies React thing. Cinch's line about, it's not about if we win or lose, it's if we keep our reputation. Like, what? So it doesn't matter if you win or lose, but we prefer to win. Like, isn't that the entire point of the friendship games?
Dude, Principal Cinch is just basically Seth Rollins at this point.
Oh, God.
Win or lose, I'm still the champ.
That's something there's also I didn't like, but it actually wasn't in the movie. It was a
boy.
dropped subplot.
Oh?
Yeah, apparently they were going to do a subplot with Sunset about wanting to go back to Equestria.
Yeah!
Oh my god, that would
I
have been
saw that. I'm like,
Oh.
is she really going back? Nope.
holy crap, that would have been interesting, but I understand why they did it for the movie because it wouldn't make sense about the whole Twilight not answering her calls. Or sorry, her sentences?
I guess. Her entries, her butt
Text
dials
messages.
or whatever. No,
Text
it's-
Butt text.
When Bae doesn't text you back.
I was just about to say that.
No, we affirmed this in the previous one. It's called scripting.
Scripting. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah, that's another thing that was never answered. It's like, what exactly is the magic? Like, what does the magic do? How does it happen? Never explained. But
Yeah, I didn't quite get that either. They had like a short where they were building up towards like, oh, we're gonna find out why this is happening. Nope, it just happens. Yeah, the whole deleted scene thing, I would have really liked to have seen too. I think with had they implemented that, it could have tied into Sunset actually coming back at some point for season 6 or whatever, or maybe even for the movie. But I think the reason they went with just keeping her there is because Sunset's like a main staple now of the Equestria Girls series. So if she leaves, then what do the main 5 do? I guess they need like a centerpiece character. They need like the mascot of it, if you will, for this.
They will continue to be irrelevant for all of eternity.
You want to look at it like that, yeah. Bliss, what did you not like about friendship games?
Well, yeah, there's the obvious villain. I mean, I honestly forgot about her. I mean, yeah, she made me cringe in the fact that, wow, you are really blackmailing your best student. I mean, wow, you're supposed to be someone they look up to, and yeah, but she was just a generic villain that I could easily forget. And what was her name again? See?
Principal Cinch.
Cinch.
I don't even remember her name. Not to mention the other teammates. I don't even remember their names. But I liked how they kind of went back and forth against the other famed 5, and like, huh. But again, they were all just so forgettable because I guess there were just too many of them on screen, and we just couldn't really attach ourselves to them. So there's that. I really didn't really care for those characters nor the villain, and those are really my only 2 biggest complaints. Overall, I mostly enjoyed this movie. I hated the villain song. I just did not like it at all. And I liked what it led up to, where Twilight is getting sucked into this big raging white ball of magic. And the whole time this is happening to her, I am screaming at her principal or the dean. I am screaming at her brother, Cadence, the other teammates. Why isn't anybody helping her? Or person, why is nobody doing anything? You're just standing there while this poor girl gets sucked into this ball of unknown forces, and she's freaking crying. Why is nobody doing anything to help her?
Paralyzed by fear will be my justification for it.
No. Be all that
You would have thought like
be all that you
would have
can
thought
be.
you would have thought though that like the Canterlot High students who have seen magic like twice now, they're like, you know what? Maybe we should do something this time.
See, that I agree with.
They've seen this stuff. They know that magic now exists. They can't even deny it. Rainbow Dash ponied up, and I cannot believe they're actually using that phrase. I can't stand it because it's stupid, but it only makes sense here for lack of a better term. When she ponied up in front of everybody, everybody was cool with it. So maybe they could have at least jumped in or did something to maybe stop it.
Pretty much.
But nobody did. Why? I mean, I'm sorry. I am not one. I've acted when I've seen somebody in trouble before. I do react. I do go to help them. I don't run away. I risk myself if I have to. When I am an average Joe, I am not military. I am not a police officer. I have no physical training. I have no physical tributes whatsoever. I am overweight. And yet I will, if I see one of my brothers or sisters in trouble, if I see a child in trouble, I'll be running faster than a cheetah to help them. Why did nobody help her? Okay, I guess this one part probably angered me the most.
Really? I didn't notice.
No, really.
I did not notice. What I did not like about the film, see, The thing is, when I first saw the movie, I was like, wow, this is awesome. This might be the best out of the series. But after I took some time to think about it and I came down from my high, um, I started to think about it a little more deeply, and I can definitely pick out some parts about it where Rainbow Rocks definitely bested it in. Um, Going back to what Voice said, he pretty much took the words out of my mouth when he was talking about the music because I I could not get hype about any of the songs. Like even the songs that you guys said that you liked, I just either didn't like or didn't care for. Meanwhile, with Rainbow Rocks, it was like there were so many good songs, and even amongst the dud songs like Awesome as I Wanna Be, it was still worth it to hear all the great songs. But here, it was just, I mean, they're not as bad as Equestria Girls 1, but they're not that good either.
Does nobody like Awesome as I Wanna Be? Am I the only one that does?
I like it too. I mean, it just. I actually, to quote Tommy Albert, it's like, damn it, Raymond Dash, stop being such an ass. I want to hate you because you're an asshole, but god damn it, that's a catchy lick.
It didn't seem catchy to me in the slightest, but I guess it all depends on personal taste in music and whatnot. But another thing I didn't really enjoy about the movie is that it didn't feel like a movie. It felt like a 60-minute episode. And a movie is a lot more than that because when you compare an actual movie to a 60-minute episode, there are differences in how the story paces itself and how the tension rises. Usually with an episode, because it's fragmented, the tension doesn't rise until the last part. And that's how it felt with this movie. The tension was like really lukewarm, and then everything comes to a head at the very last like 20, 15 minutes. And I feel as though if it were a more gradual rise, like they did with Rainbow Rocks, where they established the villains and established that they're a threat from the get-go, I think that the story would have driven itself home a lot more strongly.
Yeah, another thing actually to add on to that, like it doesn't feel like a movie. It felt like a 2-part episode. Yeah, even on the DVD, they cut to black, like constantly. They cut to black on the DVD.
Yeah. Did they do that a lot in Rainbow Rocks?
No.
Or did they just keep going?
They
think
kept
so.
going. Like
Yeah.
occasionally they would like fade out and transition to the next scene, like only if it was like the end of a song. Like for example, like at the end of Under a Spell, slowly transitioned out, fade back in. The Flash's team gets eliminated.
But here they're cutting out like every 5 minutes or so.
Like every 10 minutes is like, oh, commercial break. Wait, there's no commercial break, and bam, back to another thing. Like you gotta transition better. Hell, Equestria Girls, the first movie had better transitions.
That's really saying something. I think maybe the editing was a little off on this one. So I think I already kind of mentioned the things I don't like about this. I did not like the villain in this, or really, lack of a better term, villain. I don't want to say villain here. I'm more akin to antagonist.
Yeah.
Because Cinch does not feel like a villain. She just feels like a dick. And see, I like to throw her in the category with Hans from Disney's Frozen, simply due to the fact that they're jerks just to be jerks. I think there's no real reason, no real believable reason why they're jerks. They're just jerks. So another thing I didn't like, I don't like the fact that those deleted scenes they just cut out. I did not like that. I thought the version of What's More's Out There with Sunset and Twilight singing together would have worked more. I know it was a little bit long, but it would have worked. And I think they were doing that because they were trying more than ever to cut out as much sunlight shipping as possible. Yeah, that's the other thing. The second movie, there was a lot of shipping going on between Sunset and Twilight, and in this, there's quite a fair amount near the end. And it makes me question what this movie's trying to do. Now, maybe that's the stupid shipper in me seeing all the clues and stuff.
Probably.
But I think with the way how cartoons have been progressive nowadays, especially with like Steven Universe and Legend of Korra, and I think a little bit of Adventure Time, it's okay really to have sort of that thing going on, and I think it's a very subtle way that they've done so in here. And I don't really hear anybody complaining over it either, which is a good thing, because heaven forbid we have two girl characters who are interested in each other, but all of a sudden if it's two guys, like, oh god, let's say we have not Sunset, let's say we have like Shining Armor and Flash having like a cute little scene, then suddenly the internet goes up in flames or whatever.
Right.
But there wasn't too much about this movie that I didn't like. There was only like the villain and the deleted scenes being cut out. I can understand why. But I still do like this movie. So, yeah, let's jump to conclusions here. So, we're all pretty much in agreement that this movie is better than the first movie, but not better than Rainbow Rocks.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, a question to end this off on, what should they do with the fourth movie?
Ooh.
What do we want to see in the fourth movie, pretty much?
Is it wrong of me that I'd like to see Sunset Shimmer go back to Pony World?
Well, everybody wants that at this point. Even though the deleted scenes cut it out, that's what they're hopefully going to go
See,
for.
I kind of thought it was the movie was hinting a little bit at that. I thought that the whole reason why Magic was in that place to begin with was because she was over there, and the only way to really restore balance is that she goes back home. But they didn't go that way, apparently, so I was wrong. Anyways.
There's a crap ton of fanfics of Sunset coming back to, like, Equestria and having that moment with Celestia where, like, you know, they smooth things out and stuff.
I kind of like that Sunset is staying in the human world because, like, I kind of see it as I brought magic into this world and I don't think it's going to be going anywhere. I don't think it's going to disappear if I disappear, so I need to be here in the event that this world needs me.
Which makes sense, I think. How she's like the human world's protector in a sense.
It's like this is her way of atoning for the things she's done. I mean, like not that she like still feels guilty about it, but she's kind of found her place. She's kind of found her purpose. I'm not sure if I should say purpose, but I'm gonna go with the Lilo and Stitch route and say she found her one true place.
I thought you were going to say Ohana for a second.
Ohana means family.
Oh, damn you.
You did not.
You beat me to it.
Okay, but by the way, when you were Sketchy, while you were just talking, I just had a revelation about like Sunset's comeback here to atone for come to atone, and since the magic is basically here in the new this new world, she's gonna be the person to help control it. Sunset Shimmer is Booster Gold.
You need to stop. You need to stop.
Oh, I'm curious. I want to hear this out.
Okay, the idea of Booster Gold in the comics is that he screwed up in the future, like the 25th century. So basically, he goes back. It goes back to say the 20th, now the 21st century, to atone for his sins. His motto is, "I protect the past to ensure your future." What is Sunset doing? Atoning for her sins because of something that she did. So now she's protecting all these girls to ensure their future. Sunset Shimmer is Booster Gold.
Oh my God, you're right.
God.
I hate you.
Somebody who's watching this needs to draw Sunset as like Booster Gold right now.
No. Stop
Yes.
it.
Yes, someone make that.
The dark door you have opened cannot close.
That's actually really good, though. I'm glad that like Sunset was able to do that, because now I think the next big step for her is to eventually come back and like apologize and like, well, she's probably not going to be a permanent fix in the Pony World, but she has to go back to it at some point. That much is certain.
Maybe just a visit, I guess.
Yeah.
But just a visit would be enough, I think. But Voice, you were also saying?
Yeah, I could again. Once I could see her come back, do the atonement thing, but as much as I know we're gonna get a fourth movie, honestly, I wanted it to end at 3. I think we've come full circle with Sunset's character. I don't see anything I don't see how they're gonna develop anything further.
Yeah, I could see that because once like she goes back to like Equestria and like has that little visit and then comes back, there really is not much else for her to do other than like the usual conflict that the hero goes up against with the villain. Her character arc is pretty much done after that point.
Yeah, like there is material to work with, but to me, I don't think it's enough to warrant a fourth film, and that's why I have such a hard time figuring out what should they like. It's more of it's less of a question of what should they do and more of a question of what can they do, because what is there to warrant a full-length film? Like I would personally enjoy seeing them wrap up different little plot threads with little short films, like what they do to promote the movie. They can do that to close off the series and say, hey, this is what we're doing now, this is where we're at, and if another adventure happens, it happens, but right now we're all good.
No, I think I know what they should do. The fourth movie should be Graduation.
Yeah.
And then they all leave and go off to do their own things, and Sunset goes, and then like the ending scene of Equestria Girls 4 is Sunset goes to the portal, and they have like that little moment, and then they fade to black, and then it says the end, and then you can't make a fifth movie.
Sounds more like a special to me.
Well, they could find some way around it. I think they could like jump through time or whatever and do all this other stuff. I am actually curious of one thing. How Twilight suddenly shows up in at the end, the ending credit, the post-credit scene. Here's the thing. It's not spoiler-ish if you never read the spoiler.
Yeah, it could have been just a random event, because like with all the stuff that they do in Equestria, that could have been any event that like the bugbear in Slice of Life. Sorry for mentioning it, but like it could be just another thing that they just deal with. It could have been any irreplaceable plot thread.
Actually, funny thing about I know we forgot to mention this. Like with all the portals opening between the two worlds, how do you think that? I think we discussed this in one of our chats. Like, how do you think the ponies in Ponyville are reacting to this? Like,
Yeah, we didn't think of that because they just pop up all over the place.
Yeah,
like,
some of them actually notice the portals, but they probably thought, Twilight and the rest of the main six can handle it. Nothing to worry about here.
I was like, oh,
what if?
What is it this week? Temporal anomaly. Weird.
Yeah, what if though they ended up like addressing that in the finale though? What if they show that happening in the finale?
That could be something. I mean, I could just see like everyone staring at the portal and Lyra and Bon next to each other. Lyra holds out her hoof, but Bon takes out a couple of bits and gives it to her.
Something like that. But yeah, anyway, as much as we like to speculate on this, I think we've gone on for pretty long though. So, yeah. Go ahead, guys, and put down in the comments what you think about friendship games and what you are excited for the fourth movie. Definitely go subscribe to all these awesome people. And, of course, like, comment, subscribe, Twitter, Patreon, all the social media for all these awesome people. Thank you guys for being here. This is going to be fun. Onwards to the fourth movie.
Yes.
If there is one. Oh, wait, there is one. Damn it.
There is.
They confirmed there's one. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
On the
if they can still keep the stride that they've been having, I think this might work out. Even if I don't think that there's much they can do, I've been wrong numerous times before, so we'll see.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys for watching, and stay awesome. ToonKritic keeping you totally tuned for your entertainment. Voice Lightning, Bliss, Sketchy. This has been fun. Catch you guys on the flip side. Yeah. Oh God, who died?
I don't think.
God damn it, Sketchy. Why must your shitty cave internet must get into this? Why?
He's back.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I heard everything.
I said nothing.
Bullshit.
See, there he goes again. Friggin'. Let me tell you something about changelings. Changelings are so fucking, they smell. Changelings just really smell. You know what? You know what? Sketchy, his freaking internet's backing up. Have I ever told you how much I don't like his freaking Oh, never mind. He's back.
Wait, I never left. Wait, I was gone? I was here the whole time. Like, I was like, wait.
You kept dropping.
I was
though.
dropping?
Yes.
Whoa, because, like, on my end, it says I'm here.
On our
No,
end,
you're
it
still
says you
here. You're still
dropped.
here.
Wow. Wow.
Oh.
You do know I was recording the whole thing, right?
God damn it, boys.
Are we going to have a blooper reel section or not?
I think we should. I think I can stick this in the end somewhere.